I'm gonna make it. 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 Ooh, yes! Flying through tight spaces. Let me show you something for a second. Isn't that stunning? I throw around a few sayings every now and then. Stick pincher, Google Maps drone pilot. And whilst a perspective as high as this is breathtaking and it does show you your surroundings, I personally feel it lacks a certain intimacy. I would like to see what's going on that beach down there. I'd like to see the trees. I'd like to see a car driving by like you can see right there. However, this perspective is still too high for me. It's still too wide. I can't feel what's going on down there. I can't see people. I can't see the ground. That's why today we're talking about tight spaces and why. I feel they're extremely important. You need diversity in your shots. If you're a Google Maps drone pilot and you fly up 100, 200 meters in the air and that's all you're filming, it can get really tedious really fast. You need wide, close-up to make your shots interesting, to create a sequence. If you're just up there, you're basically taking photos like the Google camera satellites. You need to get down, and filming in tight spaces is what it's all about. Being able to get those trees, the doorways, the meat in your sandwich is the tight spaces. So being able to fly above, fly on the side, on the other side, fine, but get down there, get a meter off the ground, fly through something, make the viewer feel and see, connect him with that shot that you had 100, 200 meters above the ground. It's vastly important. It's something that you see in films. You see a wide shot and then you have a close-up. You know, it's something that I practice a lot, and this came about me being in the Seychelles, watching obviously colder, and then I had a product I wanted to review, the Air for the GoPro, which actually, let me show you. I put out a cool film yesterday on YouTube, and it's about a dart that you put your GoPro in. It looks like this. It's pretty cool. You throw it and you can get some pretty cool images. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw it through the trees into the swimming pool, just so you can have a quick idea on Instagram what it looks like if you'd like to watch my film. We're going to throw it right through there. Now let me show you what this shot turned out like with the Air. It's a lot of fun. The Air is awesome, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about how you can fly your Mini 2 through tight spaces. Now that space, I thought to myself, why don't I just fly my Mavic 2 Pro through it? Now the Mavic 2 Pro is quite a lot larger than the Mini 2. It's a lot more powerful and it's a beast. And I did just that. So let's walk through this shot that I did with the Mavic 2 Pro, flying through that extremely tight spot that was quite hazardous. Right stick forward very delicately, left stick up a little, a little, blow some leaves out, and oof. Ooh. See, now that is the meat in the sandwich, and you can play it forwards, you can play it backwards to have even more of a crazy view. It's a lot of fun, and it looks fantastic, being so close, being between things, having things fly by. It's partly why I love droning, flying through small tight spaces like that. Let's have a look at another one, and let me walk you through another version of what this could look like with a slightly different perspective. Right stick forward delicately, keeping it straight, watching out for all the branches, carefully, and I'm free. Right stick back, and a bit of wind. Scary, huh? I swear my drone was going to hit something and just fall into that water, and it would have been game over. Basically deja vu of what I had last time. Now, I did have my Mavic Mini with me, so I'm going to show you a shot from that now and what flying through trees looks like. It's very important, like I keep saying, you have to be straight on. You've got to literally be a marksman looking straight down the barrel. If you're not, if you're off to a side a little bit, that's it, game over. Your drone is going to hit something. It is very difficult, unless you're a FPV pilot with goggles. Droning like this is so difficult. So just make sure you have line of sight all the time. Line of sight is so important. Let's check out another one, which is a completely different perspective, because I'm flying through the trees and I have a zone that I want to get through, but it's so far away, I can't judge if my drone is on the left or on the right, if it's going to hit anything. Check this out. Right stick forward, keeping it as straight as possible, keeping those trees out there in the distance in the middle of my frame. Wind is carrying me to the left a bit, so left stick delicately to the right, delicately keeping everything in the middle of my frame. Here we go, here we go. Ooh, made it. Ooh, it looks so wide, but when you're flying out there, you're like, it feels like everything is that far away, especially at such a distance. You're not there to judge it. It's just, it makes my heart beat every single time. I remember that like it was just a second ago. Let's go back to the villa and let me show you. I flew from the balcony towards the swimming pool, and all these are windy, by the way. It's extremely windy, so it's quite difficult to pull off. Make sure you download this program right here. It will help you with the wind and if you're meant to be flying or not meant to be flying. Just if it's windy, be careful, because at the very last shot that I was doing, I was flying through these two trees and the wind hit and my drone just literally touched the tree, propeller hit, flipped over, fell on the edge of the swimming pool and fell in. Now the swimming pool was filled with salt water, so that drone was dead. Luckily I did have DJI care, but what we're going to do now is check out how windy it was and how beautiful this perspective is. Right stick pulling back, I can see it straight ahead of me, it's coming right back towards me, very smooth, that was close, and balcony. That was fun, huh? Now, you've got to be very, very aware of drifting when you're flying. Drifting is so easy to do. I wish there was just a button we could press that would go straight forward. But even when it can go straight forward, it can drift because of the wind. I find spaces that are a lot further away, and even though quite large, difficult to fly through, because mentally you're looking at it, you're like, oh my God. It's very difficult. So let me show you one more example. In the area I was there were like loads of bats flying around. It was a little bit freaky. But flying straight and forward for a space that is 200, 300 meters away is very stressful. Sometimes you just go with it. I've tried it a few times. I had to stop a few times. If you feel yourself drifting, just stop, or else you will lose your drone, especially if you're flying around water. It's not fun. Let me just show you this one, and then we're gonna fly through a tight space here, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it, standing right here. Right now, I have this perfectly in the middle of my frame. This is so difficult keeping this straight, but I'm moving forward very, very straight. I can feel the wind brushing to my left a little bit, so the left stick just delicately, so you can't even notice it. I'm getting a little bit too close to that tree on the left, but I'm just gonna go with it, and made it. That was lucky. So as you could see, that perspective was very far away, and it didn't look like much. It looked like there was a whole load of space, but flying with my drone with the wind, and that was actually the Mavic Mini, it was freakishly scary, because I thought I was gonna lose it. I didn't really care that much because I did have the Mavic 2 Pro with me, but it was scary. No, either way, it was scary. Now, let's just let's try something, just for fun, just so you can see my mindset when I'm doing it. Right, we have our drone, we have a little setup. The setup is about the width of me, so it's quite narrow for flying a drone through. I'm using 2 diffusers just as a kind of test zone. You can do this in your house if you have enough space and not too much china lying around. You can do it in your garden. You can set something up so that you can fly through. You can make it a little bit tighter, you can make it a little bit wider. It depends how comfortable you are with your drone. Make sure you're doing it maybe over grass or a carpet, so if it falls, it's not going to hurt itself too much. You're doing this at your own risk, by the way. But this is how you practice. You have to make sure that you are looking right down the barrel, right down it. If you're a little bit off to the edge or to the side, you're going to crash your drone. It's usually that simple. Make sure you're looking straight down the barrel. You can see the hole you're going to fly through. It's best to practice this in cine. I do this in normal or sport, but at the beginning, do it in cine so it's nice and slow. If you feel the drone drifting, stop it instantly. It's going to crash. Let me show you how I do it. Right down the barrel and forward. There we go. And backwards. And let's go down. And forward and up. There we go. And backwards and down. And maybe try a little bit faster. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. See? As soon as you get those sticks and it starts drifting, just stop it. Just stop it instantly. There's a lot of practicing to go when you're doing this, you know, it's a whole load of fun. It's a lot of fun, just make sure you're looking down the barrel. If you're getting trigger happy, that was in normal mode by the way, then you can see it starts floating because holding this right stick straight without it drifting off is usually quite difficult. That's why you need to practice. Any questions at all about my techniques, how I fly through tight spaces or even up high? Drop them in the comments below. I'll try to get back to every single one of you. If you did like my film and it helped you add a little bit of diversity to your flying, to make your shots, your sequences a little bit more interesting, give me a like and make sure you subscribe because I will be doing more films where I can teach you how to fly, how to get some cool shots. Try not to crash and have a fantastic Christmas. That tree on the left is the one my drone hit. That pool down below is the one my drone drowned in. A little bit close to that tree. Right trigger is constantly forward. And now what I've done is I've connected that tight shot with this wide shot, and the left wheel I am pulling down to the left very slowly to look down at the sea. And that's that. Right, I'm down here on Intendance Bay Beach and it is scorching today. I want to show you guys just how crystal clear this water is because it is a sight to see. It's incredible. You've got like a catamaran just over there. I live just on top of this mountain right here, Mountain Hill, yeah, we're gonna like go down and just check out this water because it's insane.